Charles, tell us a little bit about the character you're playing on Constantine.
I play Chaz, which is John's best and oldest and longest surviving friend, which is more than most of his friends can say. He's a wingman. He's a bit of the muscle, and he keeps John to task. John is a reluctant hero, and I think Chaz is sort of like constantly prodding him along because he knows that he's the man for the job.
So how much did you know about this world before you got the part, and like what kind of stuff out of that world if you kind of boned up on it in between? Are you looking forward to bringing it to screen?
I'm looking forward to bringing as much of that to screen as possible. I was a fan of the comic books when I was a child, although they were naughty comics, so I was lucky to get my hands on them at the time. And when all of this came about, when we were shooting the pilot, the first thing I did was go to the comic book store and buy up every Hellblazer comic I could, and fell in love all over again. And if I'm not reading, next week's script, then I'm reading a Hellblazer comic. I'm just slowly working my way through that whole catalog and enjoying every page of it.
What do you like the most about it?
I think just that attitude. I'm an old punk rocker. I grew up kind of, just with a stiff middle finger, and I think that attitude is, and a lot of just the questions it poses, and the socio-commentary and this kind of stuff. There's a lot to love about him, and I just find them very agreeable to my sensibilities, and I think I'm not alone in that.
You said you described Chaz's role in this, but how do you view him as a person? What kind of person is he?
I think he's a deep soul. Obviously he's seen a lot, he's experienced a lot, and it's caused him to question a lot. Seeing how, Constantine he's reckless. He's a reckless hero, Constantine, and to support that, you have to stomach a lot. And I think that he's a deeply compassionate person, which is nice in contrast to sort of Constantine's. Sometimes it appears that he has a lack of compassion, but he's serving this higher kind of calling, and I think that they have that in common. So he's seen a lot. He's very seasoned, and he's been through a lot. But at the end of the day, I think that he's a deep feeling kind of and a dear friend to Constantine. I don't think there's anything less. There's anything not genuine about that relationship.
But it's kind of hard to be Constantine's friend.
Very hard. Very hard. He's a total bastard. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. Does that come across in the show itself?
Yeah, and I think
heartless bastard he really is.
Sure, and I think that we're, as it goes on, we explore more and more of that. He makes some tough calls that he does a lot of it without even making the call. He just kind of in order for this to work, you have to die, and he goes about that. But I don't think that bounces off Chaz like it. Chaz notices all of that, and again he holds Constantine to task. He doesn't take for granted that, like in the pilot, which I'm assuming you all have checked out. Liv bleeds to kind of give us guidance, and John's just willy-nilly walking away, and Chaz is kind of there saying, look, this girl bled for you. Like, we owe it to her to kind of to do this stuff, and Constantine just wants to be hung over and not do it. And he's like, no, you got to do this. You have to do this.